All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having a great morning, guys. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good. Good morning, Carlos. Yourself?
Doing great, man. Doing great. All right. So let's take a look at what we had yesterday. For those joining us new here, guys, we go over our watches from yesterday. Then we go over to some news, see what the spy is doing. Then we head down over to our Gappers Trade Idea Scanner here. We'll go over this stocks, which we have quite a bit today, which is nice. So we'll see. We got some really good ones here, 75%. That's crazy. 28. We got some -7, -17. So these are some really, really good numbers. We definitely want to get into. And then we'll look over our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. We'll go through our top 10 on both of these and see what we can find out of this list. I see Roku is on here, so looking forward to see how Roku ended up yesterday. That stock has been unbelievable. All right, so let's get to it. Let's start with what we had yesterday. So we had MDCO was one of the stocks that probably had one of the cleanest pre-market activities yesterday. Out of everything else we had, the volume was pretty low. Our gappers list was pretty light. But this one has some really good setups in the pre-market action, also some good volume. It was gapping up quite a bit. If you look at the daily alone, if you look at this, you probably see, okay, it probably didn't trade very well. But let's just look at the details on this 5-minute chart here. I mean, this thing was just clean. Look at this beautiful pop here. Sells up, cannot get above VWAP, starts selling down here. And then you got this crazy drop right from the VWAP entry. A lot of traders, I saw your recaps, you got in around this area. Others got in a little later, waiting for the break of this level here. We have 45.52. And it did just that, broke down real nice, almost down to 44. This level here was a very strong support, guys. So it comes back, tests the VWAP again. I saw other people also take an opportunity here. So again, sometimes, guys, if you miss that first opportunity, things are active usually throughout the entire day. You're going to get other plays available. So right on here, another possible entry for another rejection of the VWAP comes right back down to this level of 44. Find support. You also had a moving average right on here as well. So again, so just a lot going on around this area, right? Then it pulls back a bit, heads right back down to this area 44, this time making a nice double bottom. Usually we get a question of what a double bottom looks like. This is clear double bottom right here, guys. That's a clear double bottom off some great support as well, right? So you had a support right on there that was very nice. You can see here it goes right back up to VWAP. And then actually Norm and I were live during this time here, and I'm spending a little more on this stock here because you're going to have situations where a stock that's in play can give you so many opportunities. So here you have an opening range breakdown, you have a VWAP reversal, you have a test of the VWAP, another entry back for a short. Then you have a double bottom being created here and then gets above VWAP. Now here's a mistake that not a mistake, just kind of an observation that a lot of traders do, including myself. I'm trying to stay away from doing this type of trading. Usually, and we talk about this a lot in the pre-market show, usually when a stock breaks out of a support, out of resistance, even support, in this case out of resistance being the VWAP, you're going to get this retest of that previous resistance, right? It retests that support and then you go, right? So when we're trading this live, we're saying, this is not where you want to go long here, right? This is not where you want to go long because you're probably going to get a retest. Again, most often than not, this exact setup would happen here. You're going to get a retest and make sure you're not getting caught on a false VWAP breakout, right? And it tests this level again, this VWAP, and then it heads right back up for another high. So that's the setup you want to wait for. Yeah, so there's going to be situations where this thing just keeps going and never looks back, absolutely. But you don't want to be the guy getting in here, getting stopped out here a couple of, 50 cents lower, and then missing a great move, right? So again, this is, be aware of that setup. That happens quite a bit, guys. And if it drops down and it cannot establish above VWAP, I guarantee you that most often than not, this will head down again. It'll establish a trend right back down to the level that it came from. So that was MDCO, guys. Such many great moves out of that trade, out of that stock yesterday. Hopefully you took advantage of that. Next, we had Snap. Snap actually was a great opening range breakup. Give us a beautiful range here. This is your opening range. Nice pullback to the VWAP here. I was watching this and froze because I just don't trust Snap. But a lot of you guys took this trade and it traded very nice. Nice opening range, pulled up higher here. Then it does a double top, which is a little early to do a double top. But you can see here just the strong resistance at around 1640. And then you have this crazy drop here. Market was dropping as well, causing a lot of this commotion. But then it sets a beautiful trend trade below the VWAP following this 9 moving average, right? We talk about that a lot in class 4. When you lose the VWAP, if it usually settles a trend trade below the VWAP here. So next we have AMD, guys. So AMD, again, just pure chop, guys. Nothing clean here. Just look at this here. pure choppiness, even throughout an hour later. So it's just not clean at all. So not anything that was looking good yesterday for AMD. Now here's Roku. Wow, Roku is gapping up today 2.3. So we just look at this daily. This is unbelievable. This thing is crazy. I know Brian is in on this swing trade here. So he's probably definitely enjoying himself when he sees it this morning. So here we have a nice pop, nice opening range, guys. Beautiful entry off the VWAP. A big consolidation period. This would have got me a little worried, but again, not anything you want to short. Brian was talking about this live. This stock's just been so strong. You want to be extremely careful. And then you see he goes here for another leg, breaking the high at 153. I remember us talking about this, and then just kind of continues on higher and higher. So again, this stock's just been so strong today. Definitely one we want to watch again because it's gapping up 2.3. It's got some volume. Should be in our gappers. Yep, it is right there. All right, so CO and also opened up pretty choppy, and also the price action was a little bit all over the place. The spread was okay, but the actual price action just seems a little choppy, just not clean at all, guys. It was jumping around between a lot of cents here. It's just not clean at all for me. I didn't like the way that was trading. TLRD was a beautiful short, lost a lot of volume down in this area, but again, beautiful short here below the VWAP. Again, he had this huge drop here. This was a SPY drop yesterday, so a lot of stocks had this drop. And then this definitely changed the course of TLRD. Once news came out around 10 o'clock, you can see the beautiful drop down to this 523 level. And CDTX was the low, actually, it was not a low flow, but it was a stock you want to be careful with because it was just the volume and the price action. So you can see here, this one heads up to $3 and then just kind of sells off. Doesn't give you anything more after that. Sells off nicely. And actually, this was available for a short as well. So if you had an opportunity to get in a short here, you could be taking advantage of this move. All right, guys. So that is what we had yesterday. Again, we didn't expect that much activity, but with the news breaking out at 10, and Norm can speak about that a little bit now, that did cause some movements in the markets. So what do we have as far as news, Norm, for this morning?
Yeah, so we're looking at a gap up on the SPY of close to 1% today, which is a pretty decent gap up. If I'm looking at it, we're close to making up what the market lost yesterday. So a little bit of volatility just jumping around right now. Like you said, yesterday, 10 o'clock, the ISM Manufacturing Index of Construction Spending came out, and that was part of the tanking of the market. There was some other things going on as well. Today, overnight, Hong Kong announced that they were withdrawing a law that has caused all the riots and protests and everything else that have been going on over there for about the last 3 months. And there's been some concern because it's kind of muddying up the that problem that's been going on has somewhat been muddying up the trade tensions. Just historically, the U.S. has stood up for democracy and such around the world, and people were wondering why the U.S. wasn't getting more involved and such. And I'm not trying to get into anything political, but it's kind of mixed in with the trade war and everything else. So them pulling back from that's been a good sign. Hong Kong is one of the top, I think it's number 6 financial markets in the world. A lot of money from China goes in there to kind of get away from the communist system in the mainland China. So anyway, that's kind of been weighing on the markets a little bit as protests have gotten worse. That news has helped things. Also, some stuff going on over in the UK, and with slightly less chance, I guess, of a hard Brexit. That has helped a little bit, even though that situation is far from being resolved. So anyway, it's kind of what is going on this morning. Some of these stocks on here are, Chinese stocks, BABA, LAIX, I believe, as well. So those might be affected by that, amongst some other things. So it's kind of what's going on there.
All right, excellent. So let's see what we got going on here, guys. OPGN, this one is up 70%. Definitely a low flow, 870,000 shares flow. So we're going to throw this down here. OPGN up 71% this morning, 391,000 shares traded. This definitely has got some activity, closing at $6.52. and opening up today at 725. So nice little pop there for this stock here. But again, guys, this is a very, very low flow stock, very risky, very dangerous. So please be careful if you plan on trading this one today. Next we have,
and that one's
go
also
ahead.
on news of a merger. So I don't know how much it'll move or be tradable on top of
Gotcha.
being very low float. So
Got it. All right. So yeah. So again, even not such a great news for it to be traded anyway. So be aware of that. So here we have Tops. Tops is up 21% this morning. Horrible daily chart here. Not looking all that great. This thing came up from under $1. Gapped up a few days ago, probably a week or two, around $6, and now we gapped up as much as 21% this morning. Any news on this one? We got two gaps here. We had one last week and now.
Let's be clear. This one is a low float garbage penny stock. I believe that gap was on a reverse split, so that gap means really nothing that you see about, I don't know, what, 6-7 days ago.
Yep.
So that's that. They announced earnings last night. This is one of those that can destroy you. So, it's like I said, low float, penny stock, garbage. I put it on here on my list just to see it for the pre-market show. I will not keep it on any longer than that myself.
Yeah, this one, guys, I'm sure a lot of people have lost their accounts trading this type of stuff, man. Just stay away from it. If you choose to trade, it's just please be very, very, very careful. Today's guys got some volume, 250 up 20%. It's giving us some back right now. Again, it went as high as a 1060 something and now kind of giving all back. But again, this is one that I will not have on my list neither, man. This thing it just doesn't trade well. It's not something you want to be involved with. Here we have MU. We have not seen MU up here in a while. Nice gap, 3%. A decent pre-market activity, just the way MU trades, just the nature of it. This is a good pre-market activity on it, and it actually has more volume than usual. MU usually does not get the volume great volume into the open unless there's some significant news causing the pop. So as Norm mentioned, I think we have a lot of those within that range, 3%. TS 2.8, we have Roku 2.2. I mean, Roku is just strong on its own regardless, but we also have Baba on here at 2%. So I'm sure there's going to be some other ones creeping in around that 2% gapping up very, very soon. So here's MU up 3%, guys. Worth giving a look into more details later. We do have some great levels on it already. You can see here 2 days ago, 45.93, also the low of right now. So we got some areas on this somewhat scattered daily chart, and this has happened based on the way the SPY has been trading, just up and down, some drastic moves lately. It had a nice daily chart before that, right? Before, you can see a beautiful daily chart here. Then here it just kind of gets a little crappy, but again, that's based on the SPY. So we'll definitely take a look at that. Next we have TS. I think TS is a foreign stock. This one comes up quite, this is one.
Yeah, it's a foreign stock out of Luxembourg, and all that volume is on a couple of block trades, so not really tradable.
So not really tradable, guys. We'll get rid of this one. Next we have Roku. As we saw earlier, Roku traded very nice yesterday at the open. Very strong here again, gapping up another 2.2, hitting 160. We were joking around yesterday in the chat that this thing might hit 200 before the year's over. Others thought that probably will not. I think it will. I got my money. This thing is going to hit 200. But again, do not take that as any type of advice. It's just very strong, guys. It's been on a beautiful uptrend over the last couple of days. Green candles after green candles. Every time you get a pullback, it just shoots higher. So today is up another 2.2 with 311,000 shares traded. Definitely one you want to watch.
They had an analyst raise their price target on it from 135 to 185 this morning. So that's what's giving it a little more fuel.
Wow, nice. Here we have Baba, guys. Baba is up 2.1 again, probably because of the everything else is kind of up a bit this morning. See Starbucks is starting to creep in here also as well on the gappers list. So this one, 145,000 shares traded so far. So not a great pre-market activity, but this is the way Baba also sets up. Kind of like an MU, doesn't give you the best pre-market activity, but you can expect some volume out of it this morning. We do have some levels we can get into on Baba, and then what we can do is we have quite a bit. You can pick the best ones. You can start basing on your criteria, right? If you have experience trading Baba and you like the way that price action trades, you can definitely keep that on your list. Next we have PODD. PODD is that's the one. This one's down 3.2. I don't see a great activity here. Trying to see where the volume is coming out. So we have 791,000 shares traded. but I'm not seeing that right here this morning. So it looks like it's got a couple of block trades. Had a very big day yesterday. Had a huge day yesterday, actually. 5.8 million shares, which is not a lot for a regular stock, but it had a nice little pop here. I don't like the way the daily setting up on this one, guys. It doesn't look great, and this pre-market activity is just a little weird. I don't see where the volume is, Norm. Any news on this or anything going on that we're aware of?
I have not seen anything on this one really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So I don't know. I'm still looking, but I haven't seen anything.
yeah.
Maybe somebody else sees something out there.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one. I definitely do not like the pre-market action right now, so it might not make our final cut here. Next, let's go over to Starbucks SBUX. This one is down 3%, 3.4 this morning. 286,000 shares traded. Is this on earnings or they got some news going on?
No, they updated guidance for next fiscal year. That was a little weak, so they're getting hit on that.
Got it. That makes sense. Bouncing right off this moving average, guys. We definitely got a level right here. We got a nice little gap. We can possibly close out. This thing decides to head south. It's got some good volume, good pre-market activity right now. This is great pre-market activity for Starbucks. They usually tend to have this similar pre-market activity when they are in play. So worth taking a look at that one in more details this morning. They're doing the opposite of what everything else is doing. So that's good to have an eye on. Next, we have AEO. AEO is down 10% this morning. Good pre-market activity, some good volume here. Losing some nice support levels or right on it at least, so that's good. This is quite a bit big of a drop here on these guys. What's the deal?
Yeah, well, they had earnings this morning. They beat their estimates for EPS, but they lowered their forward guidance, and their same-store sales were not quite as robust as analysts have expected. So,
all right, yes, this is definitely one we want to have on our list today. Price action flirting with this support level we have here. A nice reversal that happened here, so we'll definitely want to see what takes place in the next couple of minutes. Are we going to lose that or hold? Next, we have ELTK. So ELTK is down 12.5. Another one that's dropping quite a bit, but this is not a good pre-market activity at all. 107,000 shares traded, so just barely making over that minimum volume we like to look for. But this pre-market activity is just horrible, guys. Had a big day 2 days ago, kind of another indecision day yesterday, and now we're dropping back down. Looking at the flow, oh, this is also low flow, 1.3 million shares flow. So again, guys, pretty garbage here, pretty crappy. Not one you want to watch this morning. I'm just gonna get rid of this one. And next we have our last one here, LAIX. LAIX down 7.
It's nothing. It's a 1 million share block trade.
Yeah, so just one huge block trade here, guys. Not really costing anything. And even without this, look at this daily chart. This is horrible daily chart. I haven't seen a. This is worse than actually a foreign stock. This stock is just nasty. All right, so let's not even trade this. Get rid of this. All right, so let's make some room here. Let's go over our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. IGIB, huge block trade here. 2.9 million shares traded. Still right there at the top. The last transaction on the time and sales. Not much going on here. Not really tradable. TVIX volatility index should be down, right? It spies up a bit. Yeah, this is down quite a bit. 8.2. Nice. PODD, it's just nasty, guys. We're not going to watch this. It's just crappy pre-market activity. CLSD, sounds like a drug. CLSD is this one here. Is it's a penny stock, guys. Not great. It's up 26%, but again, not anything that we like to trade. Not in our wheelhouse, as normal says. So let's get rid of this. Not look at it.
If you like that, you're hallucinating.
Yes, there we go. Next we have AMD. So AMD should be up quite a bit. Yeah, well, about 1.4. It traded horrible yesterday. I'd rather watch MU today. MU seems to have a better daily chart. And overall, just better looking right now than AMD. But just AMD not looking all that great. It's got some volume, 558, it's up quite a bit, but nothing exciting really. OPGN, guys, this is penny stock again, 878 million shares flow, and not great news on it neither, so might not make the final cut. Nasdaq ETF, and then we have Roku, our buddy. I mean, it's just really strong here. All-time new high at 160.75, the pre-market high this morning. So Roku is definitely one you want to watch today. OPGN, no good. Tops is no good. CTXR also no good. No volumes you can see here. Only 3,000 shares traded. MIK. It's got some volume, up 19%. I just don't like the daily chart on this one. What is the flow of this thing? MIK. 157 million shares float. Here's the issue with these type of floats. Companies that have this huge float and are less than usually $10 trade very funky. We've seen that quite a bit. So again, not sure what to get out of this one. Pre-market activity though also doesn't look all that great. You got a third of the volume sitting in this one candle here also, so you don't got that nice flow going. Again, it just doesn't look exciting based on everything else that we possibly can have here. Let's throw it on here. We'll come back to it. Let's see if anything changes. But again, nothing too exciting right now. KMPH at the moment, penny stock, not anything we want to look at. OVID also not looking all that great. It's starting to get some volume. It's got 84,000 shares traded. But look at this pre-market activity, guys. This is as worse as it gets. So again, nothing good there. KZR also horrible. No volume. Only 1,100 shares traded. What else we have here? PBYI, same situation, only 8,000 shares traded, no volume. And last one on this list, IDRA. IDRA also no volume, guys, only 7,000 shares traded there. All right, Norm, what do you like this morning?
I'm going to have my eye on NVIDIA today, Roku, Apple. I think I am going to keep that MIK on mine, at least for now. I don't usually trade $6 stocks, but we'll see. It's got a lot of volume. And then COUP, I've got my eye on. Not the prettiest pre-market action, but see if it'll clean itself up as we get closer to the open.
COUP. All right, excellent. All right, so we'll take a look at those. We'll find some levels for that. What do you guys like this morning? What do you have on your end that looks interesting? Amaris is giving us Tesla. Tesla here. I'm actually writing Tesla. There we go. That's better. Okay, so Tesla, what do we have? Not much volume on Tesla this morning. Again, I think it's just up a bit because of the market. I don't see anything too out of the norm here. Everything just seems just kind of boring right now. But again, we'll have to see at the opening. Definitely is going to get volume. Tesla tends to get good volume. It's just, is it going to trade well? Starbucks is definitely on our list, guys. This is good. This is a great pre-market activity. It's moving independently of the markets. Got some news on this. You can see a nice little drop over to this level. It's kind of leaving this area of what seems to be like a range, right? The price is right on it. We already dipped below it, hit this moving average and head back up. So we'll get into that more in the support and resistance segment of that part, and we'll see what we can get out of that. ENPH. ENPH. What do we have here? No volume right now, guys. Nice drop here on the daily. Looks like it might be bouncing off this support, or if it can lose that, you have a nice little gap here you can go for with a moving average. But right now, not great volume. Box traded nice a couple of days ago. We had a very nice trade on Box here. This thing was so nice. Gap down, guys, and as we always tell you guys, do not be short buys. This thing came all the way up and hitting the previous day close and even heading higher. So again, just traded very well on that day. Today doesn't have much volume. It has a nice gap of 7%. So that's a very nice gap. After this day, it has seemed to be running with some good momentum. Beautiful gap here. I'm gonna wait for this one to hit the scanners though, because volume is very low and the pre-market activity is not all that great at the moment. But a nice continuation from a great day had a couple of days ago. All right, TSN. We'll do a few more. TSN here. Not great volume right now, guys, on TSN. Yes, Dave Box is good. Coop is good. Norm is going to be watching that one. I have that one on my list. Yeah, Box could be, you know what, Box? I see a lot of you that's liking Box. Yeah, Box could be interesting. This could be the sleeper today. This could be the one that takes off and gets the volume. So worth taking a look at. Again, I traded this on this day here. Traded very, very well. A lot of you guys did. STM is a foreign stock, guys, and the daily chart on this one, this doesn't trade all that well. Has a lot of gaps on here. Again, just don't like the activity on this one. It's got some volume, but look at this pre-market activity. It's just horrible. So just be careful with that one. Let me see what else. TSN we looked at. Yeah, TSN. Unless there's any news, I'm not really a fan of TSN right now with the volume and the pre-market activity. Doesn't look all that great unless it's something that you guys are aware of. I see a lot of you guys pointing out TSN. If you have any crazy news, we can definitely look at that. ARDX was huge yesterday, guys. I mean, it just took off midday, just kept going nice, squeezing a lot of people on here. So you could get a continuation play today, but right now it's not as active as it was yesterday. Volume is not all that there. Yes, you do have 158,000 shares traded, but the way this thing was trading yesterday, you want to see a liver pre-market activity happening here. So yeah, definitely watch this today. You do have shares for sure, so it could be a good one. If it can get the volume and not be choppy. These type of trades, you want to wait for it to settle down and pick a direction. You know, don't force it at the open, because there's gonna be all kinds of people trying to get in here, trying to get out, take profits. Who knows what is gonna happen at that open? I expect that open to be a little choppy, so just be careful with that. All right, guys, let's get into some announcements. Then we'll come back. We got a nice, pretty decent list here. A lot of possibles in this area as well. We got some good ones, some potential, some sleepers, and we have some that are moving very well independently of the market, like Starbucks, AEO as well. So we'll get into some levels and see what we can find here. Norm, what do we have as far as announcements today?
Yeah, so guys, the next interview that we have is coming out today. So let's play a little guessing game. Some of you guys have thrown it out. I would say this person has connections to Steenbarger. He is quite prominent on YouTube. Any guesses? Yep, Adam got it. Mike Bellafiore, S&B Capital. So that'll be coming out 2:30 p.m. Eastern today. If you're not subscribed to our channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell. You will get an announcement when that comes out. So anyway, we're looking forward to it. It's really a great interview. It was a fun one. I was lucky enough to be able to watch the raw version of it the day it was done, and it was energetic and exciting. So Seth, it took place 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, so it was recorded. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be there. Anyway, take a look at that when it comes out. I think you'll really enjoy it. Talking about professional prop firms and what advantages they have and what we can do as a community to do that, to better ourselves in that sense. So anyway, really, really great. Let's see here. DAS #1 Best Trader competition started yesterday. Goes through the whole month. You can check out the leaderboard, onebesttrader.com. We have some pretty good representation from BBT in there. We've been honored to be nominated. The Benzinga FinTech Awards. ABL will post the link for voting. It's in the alerts up top. You can post it in YouTube as well. If you enjoy the content we put out, we sincerely appreciate your vote. You can vote one time per day per device. See here, this is a new announcement. Next Lifetime webinar will be next Thursday, 8 p.m. There is a forum started already that you can post your questions to be answered in that webinar. Also, if you ask a question and you can't be available at that time, then it will be recorded and you can catch it later. Meetups. Next meetup is Bay Area, September 7th. And then New York City with Dr. Steenbarger, September 21st. We're also going to have pretty good BBT representation there. You have to register for that, get a ticket. The ticket is free, but we have to have a head count because there's obviously pretty big demand. We're going to have Andrew, William, Carlos, Ryan. I'm going to be there. So we will have a pretty good representation. There might be a couple of others coming. I'm not 100% sure on those yet. Labor Day discount. We continued this. It ended Monday, but we had some people say that they couldn't do it last week because they were vacationing or whatever before their kids went back to school in the Northeast. So we have left this open. It is a 30% discount off lifetime membership. Promo code is LABOR. You can also just click the link directly that ABL puts up to get into that. And then if you're on YouTube and you've never been in the chat room before and you'd like to come see us trade live and check out the community, you get a 1-week non-auto renew membership for a discount. Use the promo code premarket24 as you see it on the screen. No hyphens, no spaces, premarket, the numbers 24. Anyway, that is it, guys.
All right, excellent. Okay, folks, so let's get to it. Let's make this list a little smaller, see what we can get out of here. That looks great this morning. So let's start over with MU. I think MU is the one I'm going to keep today out of the AMDs, JDs, Roku, Bob, not Roku, but Bob, and things like that. I think this one has good pre-market activity at the moment based for the way it trades. So we have some levels for this already based on previous pre-market shows. So we have our 46.83, still very good, decent level. We have another one above that in case we can break out of that level at around 47.69, so I'm going to mark that down. Pre-market high sitting at around 46.47 this morning, so we'll throw that on there in case we can break out of that, or are we going to head back down towards this 45.93? This 45.93 area of resistance right on here, and also our pre-market low this morning. Below this, we do have the pre-market high from the high from yesterday, right on here. You can see the high from yesterday, how that was support over resistance for a couple of days. So you can see some of the bounces right on there, so keep that on there, obviously. And then you get below that, you got your previous day close. You have this 40 level on here that you don't really need, 45.07. So again, plenty of levels for MU. I'm going to keep this one today. It's got a decent pre-market activity, and I like the way it's setting up this morning, especially on this daily. It's breaking out nicely. Hopefully it can continue to get some momentum depending how the markets do today. Here is Roku, guys. All-time high, new all-time high for Roku, sitting at 160.75. That's the only level you need to place on here, since we kind of been doing a ladder step here, just kind of up and down. You can see how the levels are playing nicely with the highs and lows of the last two trading days, creating some great levels. Previous day closed right on here next to your low of the pre-market this morning, and you got plenty down here, moving average and all that. Obviously towards the top, there's nothing up here. All-time high 160. Looks like we're going to test this one more time here. Again, this stock just has been unbelievable. Looking forward to see how Brian is doing in his swing position. If you have not signed up for the swing alerts, make sure you go to our website at bearbootraders.com, and there's a swing trading tab. Go on there, scroll to the bottom. You can sign up for his alerts. They're completely free, and anytime he enters a position, takes a partial, he sends out an alert. A very basic email. There's nothing on there but just information on the position he's in, what he's looking at, and what his entry targets will be for something he's planning on. Here's Baba, guys. Now Baba, I don't like the way it trades for me personally. I'm going to remove it from my list, but it is popping up a bit today. I'm expecting that's happening due to the market. You have a level here at 178.37. Look at this 178.37, guys. Has been resistance for a very long time for this stock. You got three little areas here where you kind of get up there and just head back down. Get up here one more time, hung around here for a bit, right back down. One more time, hung around for 2-3 days, then right back down. And here it can be an area where we can test again if the market gives an opportunity to get going. It helps it a little with a little strength, a little boost to get up to that level. High of your pre-market sitting at 176.65. Mark that down. Towards the bottom, guys, I think you have so many support you don't need to add anymore. Highs up for the last two trading days right on here. You have the lows right at the previous day close as well, around 172.41. If you like, right, if you find this gap to be a little too big, just in case we lose these two levels on here, you can place a level right on here in the high of this of 3 trading days ago. This one right here is a good midpoint, 174.01, which is great because around that whole dollar mark, you definitely want to be aware of that. If you don't have a level, you at least want to be aware you can get some kind of loss of momentum or change in direction, some profit taking. Covering in that area around that price range, right? That whole dollar. PODD, guys, this one is it's trading a little bit crazy for me. I just don't like the way the pre-market is setting up. Looks pretty flat. It's got some volume, 778,000 shares traded. I'm not seeing where that is coming from here. Again, I just don't like the way this is setting up. Had a great big day yesterday. Today can get some continuation. But overall, just the activity of this stock for me just looks a little funky. Also, the daily chart doesn't look all that exciting neither. So I'm just going to remove it from my end. But if you are going to watch this, you definitely got a level up here, previous day close, and a high of yesterday, obviously on the same line. You have 163.91 high of your pre-market, and the range towards the bottom side is the 161.64. All right, so very tight range here. That's kind of trading within $2. Also, just notice the ATR on this has to be high based on this range. Just want to take a look at that. ATR is $5 on this guy. So again, be aware of that. Be aware of that. So this stock trades has a huge ATR. So very definitely mind the number of shares you're going to take here. And then towards the bottom, you can add in 157.83. You also have a moving average that's kind of right below that as well. And then below that, guys, plenty of levels down here. Towards the bottom between that 155 area where you've been consolidating here, so you got all your highs and lows bunched up in that area. Starbucks, I do like the way Starbucks is setting up. Good pre-market activity, some good volume. Got a nice little range here, beautiful drop, found the base, and now it's just kind of doing a bit of consolidation. Your low of your pre-market is sitting at 92.01, so let's mark that down. And that's also the last area of resistance when we had this nice little run over the month of July. So that's nice. And then towards the price action, slightly below it, you do have this area of last support, 93.15. So mark that down. Towards the top, I do like what I'm seeing here in this area here, this 95.31. And the reason for that is if you draw a line right across there, you can see how some days are opening and closing around that area. You also have, this is the bottom of this nice range before this consolidation, just chopping it started here. So we broke down below that. That could be an area where you can head up to if this thing decides to bounce back. You also got the previous day close towards the top. You got the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. 96 seems to be an also. If you draw a line of 96, guys, look at 96 as well. 96 is also an area you want to have on your chart. And then above that, previous day close 97.31 and 98.22. All right, so some good levels there. Let's go over to AEO. AEO also great pre-market action, guys. I do like the way this is setting up as well. Low of the pre-market sitting at 14.35, and you also have the price action is right on it. I'm gonna mark it down. I know the price action is right on it, but if the price action moves away from that, I want to have this level on my list. 14.59 or so is the bottom of this day here, where we have some clear change in direction off this support. So mark that down. All right, if we lose this here, if we lose this 14.36, which we're can easily test, let's go back. All right, so we're getting past the year. I'm going to switch to a weekly now, see what we can find on our weekly here. All right, so if we go back, all right, so now we're going to October, August 2017. So here's our price right now. We're hanging around this 14.55. So below that, you could clearly see a nice area here at 12. Right, 12.62, and then also another one right on here, guys. This is actually even a better one, 13.43. See that 13.43 on this weekly? You have several days of support and resistance around that area, so that's a good one. Then towards the top, guys, again, you have the support right on the price right now. You have another one clearly right on here between these 2 days, 14.98, basically 15. Then above that, another nice one here as well. Several days, 15.43. You have several days also using it as support and resistance. And then from there, you got a nice jump to 16. 16 clearly has been an area where the stock has played around quite a bit, testing it several times towards the top and the bottom, long and short support and resistance. So definitely have that on there. All right, let's take a look at some possibles. So we do have NVIDIA, we've been talking about it. We're looking for a slightly bigger move on NVIDIA here. So again, it's just kind of winding into this area here right now. It's not really doing much. The volume is so-so, but it's one that we've been watching, especially in the midday or in our gappers. I'm sorry, in our scanners, turbo breakup, turbo breakdown, in case we can get some movement out of that. But right now, not doing anything too great, so I'm going to remove it. COUP, Norm, you're watching this one. You like the way this is moving, so let's do some levels for it as well. 150.75. And what's the news on this one, Norm? Just remind us.
Sure. I've erased my mind of all news that's taken place.
You know there's news, doesn't matter what it is.
No, I know. No, they had earnings last night, and they got an analyst upgrade this morning as well. So they're at an all-time high.
Yep.
They IPO'd in mid or late 2016. So they've had a nice run, and they're sitting at all-time highs right now.
Yeah. And guys, what Norm just did, that's exactly what you have to do. You know it's a catalyst, but you just got to forget what the actual news is, because really, if you trade based, the news is positive, I'm going to go long. Oh, man, you'd be surprised how many stocks do quite the opposite. Again, we are technical traders, so we focus on the charts, the price action, what it's giving us. At one point when I first started trading, I used to hear the news every morning on the radio, every morning. And I put so much attention to the news that it affected my trading side. Right, so it's got to be a very good balance for guys when you do this. We're technical
I,
traders, so be very careful with that.
and while you talk about that, I just want to say, and we're in pretty good shape time wise. So,
Yes.
I go through this news and I read the news and I pay attention to what's happening with these and I talk about it on this show. I am more focused myself on how strong the news is from 1 to 10. For instance, some analyst upgrade that nobody's ever heard of on something almost means nothing to me. If somebody comes out with some, blockbuster earnings, or goes into a new market, or they come out and, some big hedge funds taking a, not hedge fund, but some big fund is taking a big stake, something like that. I put a lot of weight in, and it makes me. That is really what I pay more attention to. That it's a serious catalyst, as opposed to just something. So
Yep.
anyway.
Yep. No, agreed 100%. So guys, so here it is. I see where you like this now. I was zooming back in on the daily, and I see where you're looking at this. It's got this area that's broke out of, right? Tested several times, 1, 2, 3, and we're kind of breaking out of that now. If this thing can get the volume today, this can be nice. It's gonna hit 100,000 shares pretty soon here, so it'll be on our scanners. But yeah, this looks good. It looks interesting. So you got 150 towards the top side, guys. Your high of the pre-market 150.70 to be exact. Your low is 148.60, so mark that down. Then I also marked down this 146.30. So 146.30, you have several days that tested that first, opened and closed around that area. So that 146.30 is a nice one. Then below that, you got the high from yesterday. You got some moving averages down here as well. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and then your previous day close all the way down here. Below this 142.90ish or so, we do have 2 moving averages coming in here. So just be on the lookout. But I don't expect this to drop that far down unless something very significant happens. All right, so this is a good possible. We also have Box. Been trading well the last couple of days. So today, let's put some levels on here. Might not make the final cut just because the volume right now is just not showing us anything. But your high of your pre-market, the range is pretty tight. Your high is 16.11, and then your low of your pre-market is 15.98. So again, very tight range there, not doing much. Pretty flat. You do have a moving average down here as well. You want to be aware of. Towards the top, guys, you have 16.38. Mark that down, and then you have another one here at 16.80. Below our low of the pre-market, the next drop, and we'll mark this moving average also below that. We have 15.30, the next really good support and resistance area, 15.30. But I am going to mark down this nice moving average right on here, 15.70. All right. So boxes are possible. I'm going to remove it now, guys, but we have our levels. If it hits our scanners, we can tune into and see what's going on there. MIK, this one could be a possible, guys. Got some good volume, a tight range right now on the pre-market, not doing all that much in the last couple of minutes in here. But you got your high over here at 7.36. We'll mark that down. Your low sitting around $6. That's a good one as well. And then above, you got 7.69, guys, here from this range here. And then we also have a nice gap we can close here from going back at around 8.34, 8.36. So mark that down. Again, this will be a good possible. It's got some volume, but not all that great at the moment. So OPGN, guys, this is low flow garbage, so I'm gonna remove it, guys. Be very, very careful. Okay, these are OPGN, guys, is 878,000 shares, right? In tops, we've seen people blow up their accounts on tops. Just stay away from these two. So Andrew's about to come on. Just to recap, we have MU today. I'm gonna watch that one. Roku has been very strong, broke that 170 all time, 160.76 all time high. So again, put this on your list, guys. This one is nice. Baba is I'm gonna remove Baba because I have way too many, but Baba is pretty active as well. PODD, this one has a horrible pre-market action. It's got some volume, but the pre-market action is just not great. Just gonna remove this one. I got Starbucks. I like AEO looks great. Coop could be a possible, so we'll keep this one here, and also MIK. I'm still gonna work on this list. Andrew's gonna come on and work on his list, and then we'll see what he has. Anything else that has popped up in our trade idea scanners, we'll go over as well. Guys, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Trade safe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time.
Guys, trade safe, be smart. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. The Mike Bellafiore interview coming out today at 2:30 in the afternoon. It'll update you when that happens. So thanks for watching. See you tomorrow morning.